Hello, you guys. Just wanted to get on today. I have been wanting to get on for a few months now. I'm as human as anybody else, and I'm like, no, I want you to get on. No, I want you to get on. No. So here I am. And I am just letting whatever come out. Whatever I am thinking about will be said. Starting with this deck with a little coffee cup, whoopsie, on it. Aww. There is a squad, close friends, birds of a feather flock together in a soul tribe, and then repo, default on payments, financially incapable, and repossessed assets. So there's a group of friends here, right? There's a group of friends of something, doing something together, and I don't want to say too much about it. But then there's also a car repossession. So I don't know if let's just see how many cards come out. This is a lot of cards, so let's see what goes. We've got a FUCK up. Self-limiting, feeling inadequate, fearing failure. Then it is this. Open to intimate things, looking to explore fantasies and fetishes. Lipstick evidence, infidelity, caught cheating, and betrayal. Somebody got into something. Cuffing season, single and ready to mingle, ready for a relationship, on the hunt. Morning after, all night, late night. I think somebody, oh my goodness, spilling the beans, revealing secrets, cat out of the bag, and untrustworthy. Wow, isn't that hilarious? All right, you guys, there's a group of friends, and they want to take something back that they did and they made a mistake. Obviously, with the infidelity, somebody decided that they wanted to be single. They wanted to, they said that they were ready for a relationship. This is someone who does have fetishes and fantasies, of course. There's a lot of people that do, but I think these are more looking to explore. To me, it sounds like that's more of a person going out there to kind of like feed a fix, so to speak. So, and I believe that they were with somebody. They decided to go out on that person. Now they want to take it back. Looks like their friends kind of egged them on in the situation. They were up all night. They were spending the night together. And then, of course, now we're spilling the beans. I don't know if we're spilling the beans or if somebody in this twosome is spilling the beans. When I was trying to get the cards out that I was going to use for this reading, I really wanted to use the cards that kind of give you descripts of who's involved, but I can't find them. I actually bought 2 or 3 different sets of those, thinking that if there's 2 or 3 different people, then we'd get a better read, because there might be 2 people with brown hair, right? With that being said, maybe these involve 2 people with brown hair. But I couldn't find them. I've got like over 500 decks back there, so I just couldn't find them. With that being said, if you're interested in a deck to purchase at a discount, of course, because I've already opened them once, contact me, place a comment, and then I will give you a my other YouTube page that you can look at the playlist of all the cards that I have that are available for purchase. You would just pay for shipping and part of what I paid for on the cards. Who needs that many decks? I do not, but I thought that it was going to be a good business thing for the other channel. But anywho, these are, I believe, the Earth and Bone, if I'm saying it correctly. These are really cool. I love the blue edging. Oh, here it is. Earth and Bone is what they're called. Okay. Kind of goes good with the holiday season, right? With the little bones. Let's see what, and with that being flight at the bottom, opportunity, prosperity, and a new venture, I think that's a good segue into where we're going with that. And it 28, numerology speaking, adds up to a 10. We just add those digits together, and then you break it down to the single digit, which is a 1, which is the beginning of something, which is consequently exactly what the card is about. Opportunity, prosperity, and a new venture. Oh my goodness. I think that's going to be enough for those. We've got an inner calling, clarity and intention, specters, discernment, critical thinking and insight, beast, conflict, competition, and oppressors. I'm sure we all know about those. Balancing decisions, priorities, adapting to change, or the Trinity. And then we've got apprentice. Okay, so someone's higher belief. Higher education, beliefs, and wisdom. All right. Then we've got the Trinity. Notice it says 4 and 3. You're going backwards. And then you've got the 33 with the beast. 33 in numerology is a spiritual number. Of course, it's the Trinity here. And you've got 3, 3, and 3. So maybe if you are out and about and you're seeing 3, 3, 3, that will be a sign for you. Then we go up to 35, which we're skipping a step. So here we are on our way. We have like, and 4 is also pretty spiritual. Balance, a foundation, right? And then we've got our Trinity and the beast. So you've got the Trinity, which is balancing decision, priorities, adapting to change, conflict, competitions, because there's obviously some kind of competition going on with what we saw up here. Maybe the original lady found out about what was going on upstairs. I don't know. Spectators, oops, going on upstairs. I don't know if maybe you, I'm not going to even say anything. Please use your own discernment with everything that is said, and just don't jump to conclusions. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's good just to share. Anything that goes on with the readings, or any readings that you watch anywhere else, they will always tell you the nature of the energy currently. So let's just say that we were going down this path and we are making all these different decisions on things, and we're doing our cards, and then based on your original decision making on that path, whatever comes up in these cards are going to be what's going on in the energy at that time. Should you change your mind on your path, or you make a different decision than was based on that path of where the cards were leading you towards, and you make a different decision, the cards are going to have to change. Energy changes with your decision. So if you have a reading that seems like it's quite negative, or it's talking about all these things about people wanting to go out on their significant other or whatnot, or maybe they are doing their going out on their significant other, if they change their mind, oh, and let's just say the outcome is, oh, well, you went out on your significant other, so now of course you guys are going to get separated or divorced or whatever, because that original person is not down with that. But let's just say that this person that was going out and they were not being honest with the original person, let's just say that this person who's originally trying to hide those things and they get caught and now they're having a divorce, let's just say that that same person decided all of a sudden one day, you know what, what I'm doing is not right. I need to come clean, and I want to go tell my original person. If that little scenario was not in the cards originally, and he came back, or she came back and told the significant other, hey, look, this is what's been going on, that's going to change the whole reading. Now, instead of a divorce, there might be some kind of, like, you know, anniversary party or whatever, because now they've gone, you know, they realize they need therapy, and now they're going to stay together. So I think it's important to share that, because a lot of times people think that whatever comes out in the cards is set in stone, and it's not. It's not, because no one can predict your future, because you get to decide how that goes. And that's what that means when they have the whole free will thing. You get to choose your direction. Cards cannot tell you that. Cards will change if you change. Super simple. And I just Anywho. All right, and I noticed that there was a space there in between those. That was interesting. So maybe you need to take the space in order to get the key. So let's get back to the story. I apologize. Okay, so we've got this opportunity for higher education, perhaps. Perhaps it's to work on your belief system or your wisdom, or to share your wisdom. In a moment of having to adapt to this change of the conflict. So there's some kind of conflict, there's competition in your environment. There could be people who are trying to keep you from doing whatever it is that you're wanting to do. There are other parties. It could be this in here. This doesn't have to just be a cheating situation, just so you know. This can be also a work situation as well. Close friends, I mean, it could be a whole department, right? And maybe they offered you a raise, or maybe they offered you a promotion, or maybe they offered you something, or maybe they gave you something, like part of the benefits that they said that came along with your package, and maybe they decided they were going to take that up. Or maybe they decided to go with someone else for the job or the promotion. And of course, that went ahead and incited a fear of failure in you. You're like, well, it's all about me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. How am I going to get beyond this situation? So, and I have to look for other avenues, right? Looking to explore, you've got to look for other ways in order to make it work for you. You feel like you've been betrayed by this company or by your boss or your manager who said that they were going to give you this promotion. And now, because of all of this, now you're out on the job market. You're no longer working for the company. Maybe you're on a leave of absence. And you really are looking for something. You're even considering doing maybe graveyard work by staying out all night, spending the night. Up all night, late night rendezvous. You're considering, okay, well, maybe I just have to do graveyard. Maybe that will be just a better option for me. But for some reason, you're not trusting any of it. But considering that someone's spilling the beans, that's good news, right? We've got the beans being spilled. So soon, we're going to know about what this is about. We're going to know if it's an infidelity in our love life. We're going to know if it's an infidelity in our business life. It happens everywhere. So then we've got the flight. So maybe now the beans are being spilled, so someone's leaving. They're taking off. They're like, you know what? I am not going to stay here for this. I know I just mucked up the whole relationship, but I'm not going to stand here and deal with taking the responsibility for the choices that I made. So I'm going to be out. See ya. I'm leaving. I don't have to deal with this. That's their belief. Their priorities are not obviously being in a committed relationship. Their priorities changed. And now they've got to think about it. Now that they're off on their own, living the single life, they're in conflict because now they're thinking about, there's a lot of people out here in the single dating life, right? Maybe it was better where I was. There's a lot, literally, there's so many singles that you're going to have to compete against. And it's going to take some discernment to think about which one's going to be the best one for you. You don't want to just date anybody. You don't want to date the same type of person that you were dating before. And of course, the cheater's probably thinking about, okay, well, now what do I want to do? Because now I'm seeing that it's not as great being single as I thought it was. Because now it's like you think you found a great person and now you got to start over again. And you have to think you found another great person and start over again there. So I think they're really looking at themselves and saying, hey, was this the best choice? And I think the other party now is saying, hey, should I even stay with that person? Because they completely cheated on me. I mean, what if you're like roommating with somebody, that's your significant other, and you guys live together, and now he's or she is cheating, and now you're like, okay, well, now I've got to move. Same goes true for the job thing. If that job said you were going to get a promotion, time went by, you didn't get the promotion, it's going to affect your money situation. Even though you're going to look for new opportunities, you're going to consider going to getting a degree of some sort, maybe going back to school, getting more education, going to training or seminars or something. And that's your way of adapting to the changes of everything, whether it be work or love. But every single time that you try to adapt to this change and you try to make the right decisions, and you need to try to do the decisions that are going to make the best outcome for yourself, there's something blocking, or there's an obstacle of some sort. You're trying and trying and trying, so now you've got to think about it. It's like, what am I going to do now? So instead of sitting in the void, how that happened, we had that void there with the space in between, with these people looking. There's the key here, your inner calling, clarity, and intention. So what you have to look at, instead of sitting there in the void and not knowing what to do, twiddling your thumbs, you need to go out and just listen to your inner calling. And look towards the future. That's the key. 2 and a 6 equals an 8. That is the key to everything. 8 equals, infinity if you see it on its side. 8 is everything. These decisions that you make now are going to be able to go with you in the future. Again, this can be work or love, depending on what your situation is. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and look at just the titles of that second row, the Flight, Apprentice, Trinity, Beast, Specters, and the Key, this could be someone who's actually taking a flight. They're on a plane. They fly. They travel for business. And this person might be new in their faith. And the people who are not all about faith, well, in the Most High, if they're not the type of person who their faith follows the Most High, they're watching. And they know. They know what the key is already. And they can't take that back. This group of friends, they took off already. They're in fear that this person who's an apprentice of their faith and their love for the Most High, they're afraid of that person. And they really wish that they can take back the whole situation, because then they wouldn't have been in that position. They really feel like they messed up. They really feel like they messed up. There's evidence everywhere. They're not going to be able to get away with whatever it is that they've done. The times are coming where they're going to be found out. And maybe since it says the morning after, maybe it's going to be tomorrow morning where the beans are going to be spilled. They're watching. The beast is watching. They're watching for the key. Maybe the key is a person. A person has the key that they need, and they're watching for that key to be exposed or to come about. Bottom of the deck, Ascension, Transformation, End of Cycle, and Beginnings. How funny is that? My goodness. So in order to ascend, you've got to have the key, and these people are watching for the key to ascend. From this situation, this person's taken off into their faith, folks. And they don't like it. And they see it happening. And they know that you're going to find the key, and you're going to move on, and you're going to do great things. That is awesome. Notice the card perspective. It's all about perspective, folks. Whether this is about work, as if it's love, it works on any of the situations. Should we do... Let's do my Insta Tarot and see how that goes. First time using this deck. I did buy it off on an off retailer. I apologize. If this is your deck, please comment in the comments where you can buy this deck from you. That would be great. Temperance just fell over, indulging in heavenly elixirs at the bar, but let's not forget the virtue of temperance. Sip responsibly, friends. All right, so go out and have a good time. Oh, that's a 15 or 14 here. Change. There we are. Go out and have a good time, folks. Go out and play with the devil like you want to. Create a tower for yourself. Go have fun with your family. 10 of Cups. The Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Wow, this is talking about Halloween, and it says, who says the devil can't have a soft spot for kids, but when I try to share my candy, they run away, like I'm going to drag them to H-E-L-L. Alright, so you notice that he has a candy cane, and the tower has a Santa hat. I have a feeling that everything's, obviously with the tower, everything's going to hit the fan during the Christmas season. Maybe that's when all the beans are going to get spilled, is when someone's having a nice time out. Someone can only take so much, and they're having a good time at this festivity. They're having a party, and something's happened. Everyone's having a good time. And there's an offer here towards these people having a good time. The card says, I may not be perfect, but with my family by my side, I feel invincible. So in this tower moment, maybe the family came to the rescue to help out through this tower moment. And then there's a Page of Cups here. Just tried the cutest milk tea with the most delicious boba. Can't wait to have it again. All right, so someone might offer you a little date to go get some tea or something. And this person, a Knight of Cups, might say, hey, you know, I am just going to live it up tonight. Let's just not think about anything else. I'm just going to go ahead and live by the seat of my pants with all of this drama and trauma that I've been going through. And then the Star happens. Those are just circles. There's no identifying information there that would say anything offensive. It's just like a man's chest there. The perfect way to unwind after a long day, soaking in milk and mineral bath under the twinkling stars. So ordinarily the star is about having your wishes granted or whatnot. And after this big night out with this person, you're going to need some time to kind of relax. Or this person who is out there doing this is going to need some time to relax, considering it's under the oppressors. The oppressors might be trying to send in these dating options for you, right? Because the family that we're talking about here, the family's going to have to go through balancing these decisions and their priorities as well if they're going to make it as a unit, because of this tower. Another feeling, because of this tower, there's going to be some new wisdom happening there, some new beliefs of what they believe. Whatever this is, whatever it is that they wanted to take back is what's created this tower. The family's going to have to just deal with the changes because of these people. They may make, as I said, they may send in a couple people or whatever in order to make an offer to you, and it may sound like a really great offer. So you don't want to just like live life to the fullest and think like, oh yes, 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 yes. You want to take some time to think about, to have some discernment on what that offer is, and just make sure that it's the right one for you. Because they are looking for something. They're looking for that key, and they are looking for that gift. They're looking for that wish to come true before they come in. Or before, because they know that the ascension is going to happen at that point. Yep. They say sharing is caring, but I don't care when it comes to French bread. Bought enough to feed an army, and it's all mine. So they are definitely trying to take that wish or that secret, or not secret. Well, maybe it is a secret wish, but they're trying to take whatever it is that you are supposed to be getting. They're trying to pour it out, and they're trying to take it all for themselves. They don't care. They don't want you to have it. Page of Swords is coming regarding this situation where you feel like you're just all tied out. You notice how there's all of those microphones there? Can't go anywhere without being hounded for a story. Maybe someone's being interviewed. Maybe someone's being investigated because of this. Maybe someone sees them kind of watching this person. Nine of Swords. Just spent 60 minutes at the makeup store trying to pick a lipstick color. Help me. These people are trying to mess with your mind. And then here's the Ten of Swords too. Eight of Swords. I know it's going in order. New deck. But I've been shuffling, as you have been hearing. Eight of Wands. Facing my fear of needles head on with some acupuncture today. Wish me luck. Well, there's a better way of looking at things, right? Perspective, like we were talking about earlier. So instead of saying, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to This is rejuvenation stage. This is after it's been just so unbearable that now you're on the mend again. Kind of like with what we were saying here, the opportunity, prosperity, new venture situation, and the ascension. And funny how it's under the ascension. So once you go through this healing process and the ascension of the transformation, when you go through that, the beginnings are going to happen again. Just with all things, when things just seem like they're just so up in arms and they're just like, oh my gosh, just let another moment go by, right? Before you react, take a moment so you can respond in a better way. Something initially might come to your world. It might come to your situation like this, either whether it's a cheater or someone promising and they say no, and then they just take it back, or there's betrayal. Regardless of all of those situations, you always want to take a moment and just say, hey, how do I want to represent myself in this situation? And when you ask yourself that and you put yourself in that position, it is easy to respond to a situation so that the outcome is the best for everybody, right? Eight of Wands, the countdown. The countdown to the fireworks display has begun. Who else is ready? And oh, over the beautiful explosions. I don't know about you. And look, it lands right over. I know but the way it's set up. This tower. This beam spilling. And this explosion. About everything that they did. Someone's going to ask questions, whether it be the original significant other who's being cheated on, or whether it's the corporate offices asking, hey, what's going on with this person? People are going to ask questions. People are digging in. See, they're looking into it. They want to know what in the heck, what happened. And they're going to find out. And everything's coming to the surface. And just know when everything comes to the surface, please, as I said, take a moment. Just watch the fireworks. Watch the fireworks. This was for you. This was for you. With the sirens coming in. With that being said, make it a great day. Take care.